It's the I Can't Mom Today podcast with Heather, the new mom, and Vera, the seasoned mom. I Can't Mom Today.
Hey, this is Vera and Heather back again with another episode of I Can't Mom Today podcast. Hi, Vera.
Hello, Heather.
This is our third shot at this. Starting this morning because I messed up the intro and then we just kept rolling through. And then I was like, oh, are you recording? No. Great.
Yeah.
So
I'm just glad we caught it, or we would have done an entire podcast that nobody heard but us.
Which we've done before.
Yes, we have done
and
that.
It was
before.
the best. It was the best one.
Yeah, it's always the best ones too. You're like, damn, that was a good one too.
Yeah.
You just can't recreate it. So
yeah. So
sorry.
we're not going to. I'm 2 weeks caffeine free, dragging along. Where were we at in that conversation, Vera? I can't remember.
Yeah. This is what, well, first of all, I'm very proud of you for being able to go 2 whole weeks without caffeine. You're a way better woman than I am because I cannot survive without caffeine.
Yeah.
So,
the first week was really hard. Like there's a lot of Advil involved because I couldn't use my regular headache powder, but now I'm not having headaches. So that's good. Like no Advil, no caffeine.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. See, I don't, and you're still drinking that dandelion stuff, but that has no energy benefits to it. It's just something fun to drink.
Yep.
Okay.
No, it's not fun. I mean, it's okay. It replaces the coffee. I mean, I never really loved coffee anyway.
Oh, see,
I just like the warm coziness of it.
Yeah, well, that's what I replaced coffee with tea, but my tea is like super energy, twice. It's like twice the caffeine of coffee.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, I'm totally a caffeineaholic. Yeah.
I quit it after I got back from that really long trip that I was on. And I told Brad, I was like, I just don't understand. I was working long hours, staying up really late, waking up really early, drinking quite heavily. And I was like, I never felt, I mean, I was tired and there were a couple of times I fell asleep during meetings and stuff, but I wasn't like how I am now, where I was just like, or how I was. And then but then I realized that I was having a large latte every day, which is like, when I calculated the caffeine, it was like 10 times my normal caffeine.
Well, there you go. See?
And I was like, geez, okay, well, maybe that's the reason.
That'll do it. Well, and to clarify too, you've decided to quit caffeine because you're trying to follow this protocol to help with your...
Yeah. I mean, it's part of like a whole bigger thing, but yes, it's, trying to help my hormones out and trying to figure out why the weight just stays on and I can't get it off, but yeah. So
that's part of it. So just to clarify, in case people missed previous episodes where we talked about it, because you have PCOS and all that. So it was kind of part of that, from what I understood, was why you gave up caffeine. Because if anybody is like me, they're thinking, well, why in the hell did you give up caffeine?
Well,
why would you want to do that? Like, what could be the benefit of that?
I'm just a good person.
Yeah. Well, and Jer Bear, he gave up caffeine because of his prostate, because it bothers his prostate. So to the point where, he couldn't pee, which again,
he can have caffeine free stuff like coffee.
Yeah. So he drinks decaf coffee. Yeah. So he drinks decaf coffee, but, but he doesn't have caffeine. I definitely noticed when he first gave up caffeine, he was definitely, he normally doesn't talk very quickly, but he was talking even slower.
Oh yeah, he is a slow speaker.
Yeah. So
but he's not like this typical slow Southern speaker where he has an accent. Like
no, yeah,
slow.
He just talks with lots of pauses.
Pregnant pauses, not just pauses. Yes. Pregnant pauses. Overdue pregnant pauses.
Yes, exactly. Effect. You're going to have the effect. Yes, we love Jerry Bear. But I mean, obviously, but yeah, slow.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to clarify about the whole caffeine thing with people in case they were like, huh? But so there are benefits. Although I will say I'm still drinking piles of caffeine. So I'm making up for it for the two of us.
Cool. So how are you? How's everything? Oh, before we get into how you are, today we're going to talk about overscheduling kids. So just we went through a hot mess of a last week. So how have you been?
Well, Luke got into another fender bender.
Oh my God. Seriously?
It's amazing. His car is like, it's slowly getting squished from all sides, but it's still drivable.
Was it his fault?
No, actually. And this one, the previous one was maybe sort of kind of, you could say was his fault, but not really. This one definitely was not his fault. He was literally sitting in the drive-thru. And he said, I was sitting in the drive-thru waiting on my food. And all of a sudden I feel the car moving forward. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I had this moment of like, am I on a spaceship? What's happening? Yeah. And then so he obviously hits the brakes because he's scared he's going to hit the car in front of him. And so, the lady behind him literally rammed into him hard enough to squish. I mean, his entire trunk and back bumper are totally squished in. Yeah. And she said that she hit the gas instead of the brake. Yeah. So, and Jerry was like, she must have been plastered. And I was like, well, it was like noon. So I hope not.
Mean people aren't plastered.
True. There's like, hey, mimosas, they can do that to you. So I don't know. But yeah, so now we're waiting on a claim for that. But the blessing of that is I was like, well, that's after the last accident. We got a little bit of money to fix the car for that. And then we've been debating getting a replacement car instead of going through the rigmarole of getting it all fixed. And so now we're definitely going to have to get a replacement car. So hopefully the insurance company will give us a decent amount to fix that back. And we'll use that towards the replacement car instead of going through fixing this one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it was just like, because it was Saturday. I was having a really nice day. I slept in and I was getting some stuff done around the house. Yeah, exactly. Beautiful day. I'm just like accomplishing stuff and, feeling good.
Yeah.
Rested. And
then Murphy's Law came in.
Then I get the phone call that, Mom, can you send me a copy of the insurance card? And you're like, oh crap. Now what? And so then, of course, he didn't want to go into it. And I'm trying to keep him from having an anxiety attack and to give him credit. He handled it well. So,
yeah,
that's the silver lining. He's definitely learning how to handle all this stuff.
Excellent. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah. So, we'll have to do our next episode. I'll make a note of that on the movie Stutz, if you've seen it with Jonah Hill. It's a documentary about his shrink. But anyway, we'll do another episode on that because that deserves an entire episode. But
okay, I'll have to watch it.
Yes, why don't you watch it and then we'll do our next episode about it because it's really good and it has a lot of like life lessons in it. That's why Jonah Hill wanted to do it because he just felt like his therapist had all this really wonderful wisdom that he wanted to share with the world. But one of the things that he says is that life is always going to have pain, uncertainty, and constant work. Mm-hmm. And at first you're like, what the hell? What's the point?
Why am I doing this?
Why am I doing this? And he's like, but when you really wrap your brain around it and think about it, it's like life is going to be difficult, but it's okay. I can accept it. And then his point is that when you work through those things and you do these things, like I was saying, silver lining, Lucas didn't have an anxiety attack when he got into this last accident. He's okay physically. Mm-hmm. He was okay mentally. So that's the silver lining. So you get like oh, wow, well, we made it through that. Yeah. So life is never going to be perfect is basically his point. But when it's imperfect and things still work out okay, you can still find something positive out of it, then it helps. So anyway, that's what I thought of. I was like, here we go. I'm having a beautiful day. And of course I get the phone call. So, but yes, definitely watch the movie and we'll just do our next episode on it because there's tons of pearls of wisdom in there. They're really great.
I started watching. I was like,
it's definitely slow moving. You've got to put your, it's not going to be like this wild ride, It's very quiet. But if you're looking for some guidance, kind of like there's just a lot of things that he has taught Jonah about over their therapy sessions that he talks about. And like you see the relationship between the two of them. Of course, I ended up crying because I cry at everything. So yeah, if you're listening and you want to watch it. And then we'll do our next episode on it. It's called Stutz and it's on Netflix. And if you just do a search on, Jonah Hill, if you can't remember Stutz, you'll find it. So that's your homework assignment.
Hey, I'll try to get that done.
Yeah, because you're sitting around eating bonbons most of the time. So
Speaking of overscheduling.
Yeah, exactly. So now we go into overscheduling.
Yeah. So we had just a hot mess of a week last week. I got Baker into a different swimming class than it's next level, and where he's really trying to learn how to swim on his own versus just the basics. And that's on Monday, Wednesday, and from like 6:10 to 6:45 or something like that, somewhere around there. And his bedtime's at 7. So, and it's 10 minutes away. So we're stretching the bedtime at that point. And he had wrestling too, which I thought wrestling was supposed to be over with by now. Like I didn't think it isn't. It is now. Last week was last week, but I thought it was supposed to be done a couple weeks before that. I don't know. I think I was guessing. I was like, oh, well, it's 6 weeks, and I counted out, and I guess that wasn't right, which is fine. And so he had something Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every night. And wrestling is already pushing it because he doesn't get done. We don't get home until after 6:30. Then we still have to eat dinner, take a shower, et cetera, et cetera. At least swimming, we can eat dinner beforehand because it's a 6:10. It's like an hour, almost an hour later start time or leave time or whatever. Anyways. And so he had a meltdown on Thursday. I mean, he had a bad day at school, and then we went to wrestling. He had meltdowns and got in a fight with another kid. Whoa. And like where the coaches had to like separate them, and we wanted to leave you early because I was like, do you want to leave? And he's like, yes. And I was like, let's do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he was probably, beat, exhausted. And then, but that's one of the things that I've learned, because I had a tendency sometimes to overschedule Luke when he was younger. And what I learned was I had to kind of really gauge, like this, if he says he doesn't want to go to karate, or if he doesn't want to go to cello or whatever, I have to kind of really like examine him and think in my head, okay, what all has he been doing this week? Is he really tired, or is he just kind of, being lazy? So sometimes I would literally just be like, if you don't want to go, you don't have to go. You can take a break.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's hard to know that, because you don't want to let them just quit on something. You want them to have the consistency and because they've committed to be on the wrestling team or, whatever, to be at the karate lesson. And it's hard to kind of figure out where that line is. Like, at what point am I letting him be slack? And at what point am I letting him take a break?
Yeah. Yeah. And it was one of those things I was just like, oh my, and I actually even thought Thursday, I was like, maybe we should just stay home from wrestling today. And I was like, no, it's fine. He'll be fine. He was indeed not fine. And that's when the voiceover comes in, and he was not fine.
Like SpongeBob, 3 hours later.
It was a mess.
Oh no. Oh yeah. So what did we learn from this, Heather?
We learned that maybe Baker can only, and we thought, and that was never the intention, was to have him in 2 things at once. There was going to be like a week overlap from my calculations, but it wound up being like a 3-week overlap. So for like 3 weeks, he had something every single day. So I think he was kind of tapped out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I would be.
I mean, going to work every single day taps me out.
Yeah, seriously. Well, that's what Saturday was so nice. It's like I was saying when I was having my good day Saturday, because I was like, I don't have to get up to an alarm. I can do, wake up when I want, get all the stuff around the house done that I want to get done. And that'll feel refreshing. And I'll sit by the pool. It's such a beautiful day.
God, I should shut up.
So
it's snowing here today.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I won't tell you what the temperature is right now.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
So, but I like, for me, I know that I need at least one day a week where I don't have to be anywhere.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that doesn't always happen, especially when I have, between Luke and Jerry at this point, they're both always wanting to do stuff.
Ugh. People that care.
I know. Well, then Sunday, I was like, oh, I can have another day. And then Luke was like, well, do you want to come to church with me and Omi? And I'm like, no. Okay. So, because it's kind of like, what excuse do I have other than I just wanted to sit around in my pajamas? So
no, that's why I would be like, well, you can come to a church of such and such
pajamas.
Yeah. It's where twos and threes gather.
Yeah. Well, and then Jerry wanted to go to this place that we go to that's like this restaurant on a lake, and it's really pretty, and they have a nice sunset, and a bunch of people we knew were going to be there. And he's like, come on, let's go. And I'm like, oh. I mean, of course I had fun, and it's always fun to see everybody and everything. But again, I wouldn't have minded having another day of just being at home and not having to go anywhere.
100%.
You know, just want to not have to go anywhere, stay in my pajamas, brush my teeth, maybe put on deodorant.
Like I just need like a week off.
Yeah. That's what I said to Luke too. And I guess, too, with Jerry basically working from home, Luke is here at the house. I'm like, I used to have the house to myself, and now I feel like there's no.
Well, you still have your attic.
Yes. I still have my studio, which is nice. I mean, I still every once in a while get the knock, knock, knock. But
can you put like a sign?
Yeah, right. Recording in progress.
Yes.
Recording in progress.
Tight deadline.
Yeah, tight deadline. Do not knock unless something's on fire.
Literally on fire. Yes. Like there better be smoke. I better be able to see smoke.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I did. So funny. Yeah.
I get a whole week by myself in June.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How's that going to work?
Brad's going to be out of town, and his brother and sister-in-law are going to the beach with her nieces and nephews, and Baker and Brad went last year. And she's like, I would love Baker to come. I know I would love you to come too, but I know I was like, well, we have Rue, and we were planning on going out of town the week after. So I was like, that's not going to work. I can't put her in a kennel for 2 weeks. I mean, I could, but like I would hate that.
Oh, that would suck. Yeah. You'd feel guilty the whole time.
Yeah. And so so I was like, yes, Baker, go.
Oh my God, girl. I would be like, planning my pajama wardrobe.
I mean, I still have the dog, so I can't do much, but I can at least like clean. I can clean with nobody being home.
Yeah.
I'll probably do a couple days of like decompress.
Yeah. Oh, I would like seriously.
But that week's going to fly by, right? It's going to be an hour.
Oh yeah. I would sleep try and sleep without having to wake up to an alarm. I mean, that was, I think, one of the big reasons I felt so good on Saturday, because I could just sleep till whenever.
What do you have to wake up for in the middle of the week or in the week?
Either work, some kind of work. I might have like a recording session, or I have, I've been trying to go to the gym more. So I wake up to go to the gym.
Lame.
Yeah. So yeah, being able to sleep in, although I will say I woke up right before my alarm went off this morning at 7:00. So I was pretty proud of myself.
Man, your alarm goes off at 7?
Yeah.
Oof. Mine goes off at 5.
Yeah.
But this morning, Brad said, Baker woke up in the middle of the night, and Brad went and slept in his room. And then he came back in at 4, a little after 4, when his alarm goes off to go to the gym, and Rue started barking at him or growling at him. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
So I was up at like 4:15, and that's why I'm really tired today. But anyhow,
well, yeah, of course you're tired. Well, so do you? I wanted to the overscheduling too, real quick.
Yeah.
Do you? How do you keep track of everything? Do you put everything in like your phone calendar, or do you have a written calendar, or both? How do you do it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Both.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have like my desktop calendar that has like my work stuff, and I try to put in personal stuff too that is impactful, meaning like if it's in the middle of the day, if it's at night or in the weekends, I don't usually put it in there. We have a shared Google calendar, or not shared Google. Brad just invites me to things, and so it's on our phone calendars. And then I transfer it to a written calendar so I can see it. So I don't have to check my phone.
Yeah.
Like I check my phone when I'm trying to schedule something, but once it's scheduled, like I just want it to be on the calendar so I can see it. So I'm like, oh, this week we have blah, 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 blah. And it's this gigantic, like 2-foot tall calendar.
Okay. Yeah, that's, I just have like a little wall calendar that actually we got from our friends at Altura who printed our stickers.
Oh, yes. Oh, I still don't have one.
I know. I'm such a tard. I need to send you some. That's on my list of things to do.
Jeez.
But yes, so they that like sent out calendars to all their clients. So they sent me a calendar. So I have that on the fridge. But of course, I write stuff on it. But do you think anybody else in the house actually looks at it?
Oh, everybody in my house does, because it's on. You've never been to my house, but had you ever been to my house, you know we have like one little flight and then another. You take it has like the landing, and then you go up to the second flight or the second half of the first flight, and on that big wall is the gigantic calendar. So you look at it every day.
Well, see, mine is on the fridge, and you would think, I mean, everybody goes to the fridge at least a few times a day, but do they look at it?
But also, when I say mine's 2 feet tall, I'm not even joking. Wow. It's huge. I got it by accident because we had a smaller one, but I got it by accident, but I was like, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Look at this now, biatch.
It used to be on Baker's bedroom door because that was a door that went to the living room. And so we were just hanging on there, and it was small. It was, 9 by 11 or something. And I would always have to get up to go look at it if like we're talking about dates. But now I can almost see it from my living room. Dude, so big.
Maybe I should get a ginormous one too and hang it on the garage door, the door that leads out to the garage, because that's the door we use to get in and out of the house.
Yeah. It's not aesthetically pleasing, but it is.
Yeah. Functional.
Functionally pleasing, which I like. Well,
again, because it gets tiring having to be the one that's like, the cruise director. The
holder of everything.
Yeah, who knows everything. What's happening? We have anything tonight? We're doing anything? When did my medications change? When's this? When's that? How does that work?
Any of that medication stuff.
Yeah, well, I have to do that with Luke because, he's
yeah. That makes sense.
Going off and on stuff all the time, so... well, that was the other thing. We had to take him to the ER. I had to take him to the ER on Friday morning.
I don't know why.
Because he had a sore throat, and he got an abscess several months ago. That was
remember
really horrible. That. Yeah, so we were worried about that. So luckily, it wasn't that. But yes, and his doctor didn't have any times available. So I was like, all right, guess we're going to the mini, one of those mini ERs.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah,
everything's good.
Medications. Everything's good, but he had to go on steroids and antibiotics and all that fun stuff. So yeah, but stinks. One thing that kid knows how to do is take pills.
Yeah, well,
sadly,
that sucks.
So, but yes, if you want a sticker, and I promise I'll mail yours quicker than I'll mail Heather's. And we won't put you on a mailing list or anything like that. But if you want a free I Can't Mom Today sticker to throw on your computer, your car, or your Yeti, or wherever you throw your stickers, you can email us ican'tmomtodaypodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. And if you have a tip on like scheduling your kids to where, you get the maximum benefit without the maximum attitude or crying or emotions
or getting into a fight with another kid.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, man, it was a mess. Hot mess. Oh, and we had a dog attack. A dog attacked me on Thursday. Same day this all happened.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That day
was it in your neighborhood? Or, where?
That day at school, yes, it was at my house. That day at school, a dog, Rue was outside for 20 minutes, just hanging out, whatever. The dog behind us was evidently outside, who's like a 90-pound dog. Ripped apart the bottom of our fence, got through our fence. I go outside, get Rue, because now this dog is now ripping apart the side fence to get to the other 2 dogs that live on the side of us. And I mean, aggressively, once I had Rue in my arms, I ran inside, I yelled at the kids, they're the people behind us. I was like, your dog's in our yard, screaming. And I get Rue to bring her inside, and the dog's jumping on me, biting me. It was a hot mess. It was
oh my God,
awful. And then I had a meeting right after that, called Brad after that meeting and was telling about him. Get a call. I'm like, hold on. It's the principal's office because Baker touched a kid negatively at school. And so that's when I was like, that whole day, it was a hot mess. I was like, this day can suck it hard.
Yes.
So yeah, it was a mess of a day. So anyways, yes, that was the day. And those people have still yet to come over and say,
I'm so sorry. Or, hey, we'll fix your fence.
Yeah. Is there something we can do to the fence? Nothing. I've not said anything. So we need to walk over there at some point.
Yeah.
But if I had Baker all weekend, I didn't want to bring Baker to a neighbor's house and be like, so help me fix my fence, or, fix my fence that your dog destroyed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Ugh, that's a shame. Ugh, well,
I love that conversation, but whatever, it is what it is.
Oh, I know.
It's part of being a grown up.
That's right. Adulting.
So yeah, if you have any tips on how to maximize your kids, let them have fun, stuff like that, but also keeping in mind their emotional baggage that they're carrying around too.
Yes, 100%.
All right. Until next time.
Bye.